ball this year. They improved each year in after their first year in the Summit League. And here they are in year 3 trying to build on that as it's the Tommies who control the tip, and Jade Hill will walk it up into the front court, crossing over with Avila Ambrosi working on her. Now Amber Scalia will operate on Larkin. She's one of the top scorers in the Summit League. Really impressive scorer for this Tommies team. 8 on the shot clock now. Hammond looking for help. Over to Glenn. Glenn got 2 seconds to put one up, and she's fouled. Late foul there with 1 second on the shot clock.
That's exactly what USD wants to do, is they want to play in these gaps, and it looks like Avila Ambrosi just got her hand in there and tripped her up, but that was a great, defensive possession for 29 seconds, and just that last foul bailed them out.
Of course, Ruth Sin talking to her, she said that's what South Dakota is so good at. They play in the gaps. They won't wow you with their steal and block numbers, but they play really, really good team defense, and that's what's made them one of the best defenses in the Summit League. Is Hill with the crossover, the floater, count it, and the foul. Jade Hill with a nice move to create some space. She gets the scoring going with a nice little and one bucket.
Well, you look at the shiftiness right there by Jade Hill, and that's, Avila Ambrosi's second, her quick 2 fouls with only, 45 seconds into this game. But, Jade Hill can really, really affect you in a lot of different ways, and she can get downhill, and she plays with that shiftiness and that quickness. And as of right now, University of St. Thomas is living off those 7 days of rest for sure.
Joe Langbin, the leading rebounder for the Tommies with the offensive board, and now St. Thomas will get to create his Hammond tough layup, won't go. Rebound to Holmes, slips away, but looks like Carly Duffney was fouled by Joe Langbin, so ball will stay with the Coyotes. You mentioned there, Freddie, 2 quick ones, really quick ones for Avila Ambrosi, and it looks like Jewett will keep her out on the floor. Langbin will step off.
Well, it looks like they called that foul on Holmes and not Avila Ambrosi. So Avila Ambrosi does have the one. Yep.
Okay, so nothing to be concerned about there if you're Mike Jewett. Samuel Pitchka checked in for Joe Langman, who takes a quick seat as the Coyotes will try to initiate offense. Holmes from downtown, a little too strong, missed everything. Demers with the save attempt, and they call it travel.
Yeah, it looks like Hammond got that pass and kind of shuffled her feet a little bit before she went to make the pass up the floor.
See right there, acting head coach Mike Jewett, as we mentioned at the top. Kayla Karius out dealing with the flu. She's missed the past few games for South Dakota. Best wishes to her as she recovers with her illness. But Mike Jewett, who does have a head coaching background, was most recently on the SDSU bench, the South Dakota State bench, prior to joining USD for his first season this year. Now he's stepping up in the absence of Kayla Karius. 8 on the shot clock. Duffney will fire from the corner, misses left. Rebound tipped by Hammond, and it'll stay with the Coyotes.
One thing about this University of South Dakota team is they really move the ball, and they do a good job of playing without the basketball, and that's really hard to defend as the defense tries to settle in, but what they do is they're always moving without the basketball. They're looking to screen, they're looking to cut, and making reads off of how the defense is guarding.
Holmes in the lane for Demers, and Demers squeaks it home. First bucket for the Coyotes. First assist for Kendall Holmes. We're all even at 2. Coyotes in the pink jerseys for the pink game. Nice little switch up as opposed to their usual home white and red. Ball deflected by Demers, so it'll stay with the Tommies. Alexi Hempy will check in, and Avila Ambrosi will step off, as you see back right there. Demers with the nice easy finish. Hill will inbound to Scalia. Scalia operating on the left wing. She's guarded by Hempy. Scalia crossover, pull-up jumper is good. Amber Scalia, just so pure, Freddie.
That's tough, man. She's known as a shooter, but she is a straight bucket getter.
Scalia, her first bucket of the game as the Coyotes answer. Walker Demers, 2 for 2. And a steal and a putback. A steal and a layup for Grace Larkins. I turned my head for 1 second, and Larkins has stolen the ball and put it back up. Larkins, one of the top steal women in the Summit League. Top 10 in a bunch of different categories. Steals being one of them, and she's earning... She gets another one right there. Now the Tommies will try to come back as Hill into the lane. A lot of contact, no foul, but she squeaks home the floater off the glass. So Second bucket of the game for Jade Hill. She's 2 for 2 from the floor.
And the Yotes got to put a point of emphasis keeping Jade Hill out of the paint. She loves to play in the paint. You can call her Picasso. Always in the paint.
Hempy will try from the left wing, too strong. Rebound to Glenn. Now she'll initiate offense for the Tommies. Glenn, the in and out. Head fake. Passes it out to Pitchka. Now Pitchka will operate on Hempy. 16 on the shot clock. Scalia now. With Hempy going across, calling for the screen. Crossover into the lane, and she's fouled by Hempy. She was kind of riding her a little bit there. If you take a look at Larkins with the Jose Alvarado type play.
It was almost comical.
A little bit of a mishap from Angelina Hammond, and Larkins is the beneficiary as Hammond will take a seat and Demers will take a seat. Langben will check back in, and Natalie Mazurek, who's been playing some of the best basketball of her collegiate career as of late. She'll check in for the first time for the Coyotes. 3 from the top of the key is good. Jordan Glenn, her first bucket of the game.
And that's what Jordan Glenn can really do and hurt you. You know, flat-footed catch and shoot shots is kind of her forte. And when she can get her feet set, you know, she throws that thing up there, her percentages go through the roof, but she can really, really stretch it from 3.
Glenn was a 6-time letter winner in high school, scored over 2,000 points in her high school career. She gets the steal there. Coast-to-coast layup is good. Jordan Glenn back-to-back buckets now for the Tommies. And just like that, quick run for St. Thomas.
She can also jump passing lanes and make fast break layups, but you know, Jordan Glenn is one of those players that, you know, they rely heavy on, and just a really good glue person and how she plays, right? Jumping the pass lane there, but she's the only player on this team that played in the Division III era, right? Now she's playing Division I basketball here, and St. Thomas have really made the transition pretty seamlessly. Both the men and the women have been really successful in the Summer League.
7-0 run for St. Thomas as South Dakota turned it over on that last offensive possession. You talk about their success at the Division III level. Of course, St. Thomas made the move from D3 to D1 just a few seasons ago in all their sports. Still, this is their last year of being ineligible for the NCAA tournament as Larkins will pull from the top of the key too strong. Rebound Glenn. But St. Thomas in their final year of not being able to compete in the NCAA tournament, so next year will be their first year where if they win, as Hill in and out burger into the lane, timeout, Mike Jewett, he wants to talk it over. As that's now a 9-0 run for St. Thomas, and we will step away along with both teams. 13-6 midway through the first quarter here in Vermillion. Stay with us, we'll be right back here with more action on Midcoast Sports.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. Get a free ottoman with this sectional. The President's 3-day doorbuster deal starts Saturday at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 60% off list. Get a free recliner with this reclining sofa. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Life is busy. The professionals at Premier Real Estate of Vermillion help with those busy times by making the experience of finding a new home, the right home, easy. When you decide it's time to find the home of your dreams, call Premier Real Estate. After all, isn't being in the home of your dreams about one very special thing? Premier Real Estate, for every move you make.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. Get a free ottoman with this sectional. The President's 3-day doorbuster deal starts Saturday at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 60% off list. Get a free recliner with this reclining sofa. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
Welcome back to Vermillion inside the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. 13-6 midway through the first quarter. Tommy's up over the Coyotes, and St. Thomas shooting 6 for 7 from the floor right now, Freddie, as we take a look at the series history between these two teams. Again, St. Thomas, one of the newer additions, or rather the latest addition to the Summit League. Their first time matching up January 22nd of 2022. USD won handily 70-43. And of course, the last meeting just a few weeks ago on January 18th, USD won 63-61 on a Tori DePerry buzzer beater. So right now the Coyotes ahead in the series, but St. Thomas looking to get some vengeance from the last time these two teams played, as South Dakota will initiate offense right here out of the timeout. As Hempy looked in from Zurich, and it's turned over, stolen by Langby. Now here comes Hill in the open floor. Over to Glenn from the left corner, short. Rebound to Hempy. First miss in the last 4 shot attempts for St. Thomas. They were heating up as Missouri will try from 3 and can it. Natalie Missouri, she's been lighting it up from downtown. Playing really well, averaging nearly 11 points and 7 rebounds in the year 2024. We joked about New Year, New Natalie a few weeks ago. I think if anybody would needed the new year, it was clearly Natalie Missouri, as Hill's layup soars over the rim. Missouri will control now. It's up to Larkins. Avila Ambrosi, and then scoop layup is good. Avila Ambrosi into the scorebook.
George Gervin finger roll.
Just like that, it's a 2-point ball game. Langman will fade and hit. Joe Langman with her first bucket of the game. Joe Langman, by the way, shooting 67% from the floor. I discovered when I was looking that they don't have her ranked. She would be number 2 in NCAA Division I for field goal percentage, but since St. Thomas is still in their ineligible period, they actually don't count that. So justice for Joe Langman, as Tori DePerry's called for a hook there.
Here's a replay of Natalie Missouri's top of the key 3. You talk about how she's been so productive recently, man. She's been hitting from inside, outside, a post presence, being able to stretch it from 3. And when you have a 5 that can stretch the defender out there, it gets Joe Langman, it gets, some of these other Hammonds, these Opichkas away from the paint. Really good shot blockers, really good, rebounders. So when you get some of those bigger bodies out of the paint, it allows them to do a little bit more offensively. But their presence offensively, Missouri's been awesome.
Missouri loves that top of the key 3. She knocked that one down. Scalia into the lane floater, rims out. Rebound to Missouri. That's her second already. Now here comes Larkins. Olivia Kiefer's checked in for South Dakota. The freshman from Rapid City scored nearly 3,000 points in her high school career. One of the most prolific scorers in South Dakota high school history. As Larkins will get in the lane, hit Ambrosi in the corner. Off on the 3. Missouri the offensive rebound, and she's fouled. And that should be Langman's second. And it looks like it is, because Angelina Hammond stood right up, Angelina Hammond stood right up to come in for her, and Langman will take a seat. Holmes will check in now for Larkins, who's taking a rare breather.
And that's a tough one for Joe Langman to go to the bench here early into this first half, because they rely heavy on her. Talk about her field goal percentage. They like to play through her, and she makes a lot of decisions out of the high post. So now her on the bench really hurts this UST team.
Very efficient player, like I mentioned, shooting 67% from the floor, as DePerry with the turnover. Mike Jewett kind of signaling to her, hey, just calm down, don't force the issue. DePerry coming off the bench in this one. She had been starting, but a little bit different when you come off the bench, Freddie.
Yeah, that was the right play. It was just the wrong pass. She threw a chest pass into the post. Probably should have been a bounce pass, a little bit easier for the bigs to catch, but right read, wrong pass.
Jordan Lamphere checked in for the Tommies, as Hill will operate under the rim, and she stepped out of bounds. Can't quite see from our vantage point where she stepped out. Nonetheless, the official calls it. So that'll be another turnover, and the Coyotes will come down now. Olivia Kiefer in her freshman year shooting nearly 40% from 3, averaging 4.5 points per game, 1.5 assists. Had 3 points in just 6 minutes last time these two teams played, but now, since then, has become more of a regular in the rotation for South Dakota. DePerry will knock down the 12-footer.
Little defensive miscue there, and once again, the Yokes do a great job of moving without the basketball. Right? You make hard basket cuts, it makes the defense react, right, and continue to keep communicating. When you don't communicate, you have a Tori DePerry wide open right there at the wing there, and hits a nice little 10-foot jump shot. But South Dakota can do a really good job of playing without the basketball, and that's where I think they're really good offensively.
One of the most efficient offenses in the Summit League. They score a lot of points. They defend really well. Kiefer now will initiate offense. Holmes, the transfer from DePaul, operating. She is a knockdown shooter. has lived up to the hype that everyone expected. She's going to let it fly. No hesitation every time as she looks for DePerry there, and she's fouled. Kendall Holmes, the Plainfield, Illinois native, started every game this year for the Coyotes. At DePaul, averaged nearly 10 points per game. She made 65 threes. That was good for 6th in the Big East a year ago. She's been in double figures 11 times this year for the Coyotes as DePerry knocks down the first free throw. Kendall Holmes, every bit as good as advertised, one of the better shooters in the Summit League, as DePerry's second free throw is good.
As the kids say, she's got a strap. Kendall Holmes can really fill it up from three. And she's, like I said, one of the best shooters in this league, and she has a really quick release. That's the tough thing, is that when you even feel like you close out right, you do everything right defensively, she can get that ball to her hands quickly.
Jordan Lemker back into the game for the Tommies. Just about a minute to go here in the first quarter. Hill will probe, operate, out to Opitchka from the corner, got it.
It's a heck of a pass from Jade Hill. Once again, getting 2 feet in the paint. When you have somebody with the ball in their hands that can get downhill and make the defenses react, then you have flat-footed catch and shoot threes. We saw Jordan Glenn hit one early in the first half. Opitchka knocking that one down. But man, if Jade Hill gets in the paint consistently, it's going to be a long day for USD.
Coach Sid loves what Jade Hill can provide this team offensively. Just the versatility, the scoring, the passing. Hill second in the conference in assists as we take a look at St. Thomas's last 3. Actually, we hold off on that while the Coyotes initiate offense. Kiefer is fouled by Hill there.
Looks like Hill tried to jump over that ball screen and got a little bit too much body and knocked Kiefer off a little bit, but Jade Hill, leads his team, leads the league in steals. She's a great on-ball defender. She's a bulldog-type player. She's tough. Talked about the grit that this whole St. Thomas team has, and it really starts with Jade Hill.
Hand in the cookie jar there on that foul, as folks like to say, as Holmes and Avila Ambrosi will step off, and Larkins and Madison Grange will step back in. Grange hadn't played much until lately, has found her way back into the lineup. The Holiday Utah native stands at 5'11". The transfer from Utah Valley played 9 minutes against UNO Omaha on Thursday, as Kiefer's second free throw is good. 2-point game, St. Thomas ahead.
A little full court pressure here by the Yotes just to kind of give St. Thomas a different look, and not always to create turnovers, but just to give them a different wrinkle. Right now, St. Thomas is doing really good things on the offensive side, just to give them a little bit of a different look.
Hammond at the elbow, finds Lanker, now over to Hill. 6 on the shot clock for Hill. Hill in and out, behind the back, and she lost it. Picked up and handled by Missouri. Now here come the Coyotes. Larkin surveying the floor. So slow it down. No shot clock. 6 seconds left in this first quarter. Larkins crossover into the lane to Missouri. Missouri with the layup. We're all tied up after 1. After a dazzling move and assist for Grace Larkins, Natalie Missouri. We'll learn more about her at halftime with the finish. We'll step away after 1 quarter of action. We're all evened up, 18 apiece between St. Thomas and South Dakota in Vermillion.